Hello everybody, it is Gunsage, and I just wanted to share a little bit of information here real quick. I was a bit dismayed whenever beyond Windows XP there was no more, no more good command line interface. It's all a DOS shell now, and it doesn't run very well on Windows. But as much as I thought that might prevent people from playing DOS games, there's a handy little tool called DOSBox. But it's not hard to use so much as you just need to know a few things going into it. So let's say you don't know anything about it, but you want to play, well, let's say Leisure Suit Larry. Oh my God, Leisure Suit Larry! Yeah, let's play it! Come on, we need to install this! Oh, it can't run on the PC. Well, no matter. Maybe it's already ready to go. I mean, yeah, this looks right. Oh, unsupported 16-bit application. Maybe this? No. No. It won't run. Okay. Well, I guess we're fucked then, right? Well, see, that's the problem. That's where most people would stop. Me, I knew there had to be a way to go ahead and play them on the computer. Well, DOSBox is a DOS emulator. It's not hard to use so much as there's just a lot of command lines that you can use in order to get it to run. So here's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to promote this site. It's oldgames.sk, and if you do the /en, then it goes into English. If not, there's a little button up here. By default, it says Slovak, but if you enter the site without the en, then it's already in Slovak, and you click up here where it says English, and you're good. Alright, now a lot of these games that are on here are abandonware, but then there's some of them that have already been picked up by Good Old Games, so you'll click on it and it'll say, well, you can get this at Good Old Games. Yes, it's DJ Old Games. I'm not sure why it calls it goldgames.sk, but that's, you know, whatever. Basically, all you really have to do is find just find one game that's on here that you can download. You don't have to get anything, you know, fucking fancy or anything like that. It doesn't have to be like a, you know, premium membership. Just one thing, and that's it. So I have a lot of different things that I downloaded. A lot of these I downloaded. I never really got a chance to play for my 2 spoopy, such as Misao and I'm Scared and stuff like that. And then there's just other stuff that I really wanted to play, but I didn't necessarily think it would work out for my 2 spoopy special, such as Abuse. Fun little game. So, what the fuck is all this? Well, most of this was, extracted once I went ahead and downloaded it from the Old Games website. Basically, what this is, the C directory is where all this shit is. It's where the actual core game is. Alright? And then all this is stuff that you may opt to use or may need. So like the CD directory, if you have an actual CD-ROM that you need to emulate within the thing. And then there's docs and documentation and stuff, which you probably won't use, and that's okay. Capture, I mean, you know, none of that's really all that necessary. I'm going to actually delete this stuff because I really don't need it. In fact, I'm not really sure what this is. Oh, I don't care about that either, to be honest. Okay, so, well, we've got Leisure Suit Larry here. It's in my Valentine's Special folder. So how are we going to make this work? Well, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to Alt-A so that I select everything, and then Alt-X so that it's set to cut. Alright, new folder, just name it C, and Control-V to throw everything in here. Awesome, so we've got C directory within the Leisure Suit Larry folder. Excellent, now what? Well, let's copy everything but the C directory here. Copy, put it in here. Great. Okay, are we ready to play? No, we're not ready to play yet. So this requires a little bit of knowledge of batch files, command lines, things of that nature, but it's not that hard. That's why I want to walk you through it real quick. So this is what you're going to be using to actually play the game. And if you want, you can set up a shortcut. In fact, I'm going to do that now. I'm just going to call it Leisure Suit Larry, because that's what it's going to be. Leisure Suit Larry 1. I'm actually going to copy this, or well, cut this rather, and I'm going to throw it. Trying to think where I had all of that. I'll just throw it on the desktop for now. Why not? That'll work. Cool. Alright. You don't have to do this, it just makes it a little bit easier to access. Okay, so what does this do exactly? Well, it calls DOSBox configuration, dash conf, and then this file, okay, dosbox.play.conf, okay, well, dosbox.play.conf, alright, edit. Yeah, it's just a standard notepad file, basically. And there's a bunch of shit here. Some of this stuff you might need to modify, some of it you might not. For the most part, you probably won't have to modify it for most games. But this is the default, yeah, Gunsage is Teletaxor. Alright, so right here, here's the stuff for if you need to go ahead and mess around with the, CD-ROM and everything like that. Mount C for C, your C folder here, you're going to mount that, right? Get your mind out of the gutter. Anyway, let's specialize this. We're just going to say Leisure Suit Larry 1. Let's maybe put in a backspace or two there. Yeah, that way it's a little more centered. Now for right now, we know that it's not going to be abuse that's going to run this. We're just going to do this for now. Save. Cool. Alright. So what does this do exactly? Well, so we've got everything that we just wrote right there. And since we had a pause, if you noticed, it went ahead and paused it. It says press any key to continue. Boom. Pause right here. Hit enter. Okay, now we got this up. I'm going to hit Alt-Enter so it's full screened. Alright, let's do a dir/w so we can get a directory wide rather than just dir where you get that and then it's hard to read. Okay, well, we don't know if this is ready for sound yet or not, and we see an install file here. It's install.exe. I can't point with my mouse because, well, it's not going to show the mouse in the DOS shell. Not until there's an area where I need to use the mouse, basically. So, install. Oh, cool. So we got the default Sierra Online install setup program. Okay. So this all looks correct. Yep. Let's accept and save. This is not necessary. Exiting install. Okay. So everything has been set up. So most of the time to run older Sierra games, you do the Sierra.bat or just Sierra. Yep, looks like it's running. Now, oh, I'm under 15. Sorry, but this game can only be played by adults or with an adult. Please find an adult, come back, and try again. Oh, but it works, and we know it works. Okay, so how do we make it do what we want it to do? How do we make it just jump right into Leisure Suit Larry? Okay, well, remember there was an exit here after the pause, right? Okay. And before the exit, it was the actual command line to run it. Well, we determined that it was Sierra. Alright, save. But Gunsage, won't that fuck up the shortcut? Absolutely not. This is just the configuration file. Remember, the shortcut is going to run this. And all this is going to do is run DOSBox and then the configuration. So it's just a pointer for this program. We didn't modify this program. We modified how this was going to run, which is just the configuration file. So to prove this, Leisure Suit Larry 1. I'm going to Alt-Enter. It's got everything we want here. Press Enter. And we're off to the races. I'm over 100. Oh, no, you're not. Alright. I could probably make it exit twice in order to actually kill the program. Because I believe that the .bat file, yeah, it may already have an exit in there or something, so that's fine. Anyway, I'm going to delete this for now. I just wanted to show you how it's done, because I'm sure that people have questions about that or think it might be too hard to perform, but I literally just did it in, what, 2 minutes? I mean, come on. It didn't even really take that long. And the best part is, if you get a number of them done like that, you can just set up those shortcuts there, right? And then, I mean, you can have something like this. You can have a shortcuts folder. Yeah, see, DOS stuff. Yeah, and it's got all my shortcuts right here. This is where I threw all my stuff. So, yeah. So, like, for example, let's see here. Round 42. Pretty sweet little game. I had to tinker with this one a little bit because it's a very, very old game. So I had to adjust the clock cycles and such on it. So, yeah. Yep. But even this game, which I don't remember how to attack now. How do you attack? That's not that clearly. Well, that's okay. It doesn't matter that much. Alright. But you get the idea. I mean, basically, you've set up all your little files here, and you're good to go. And again, most of what I did here is I just copied what the DJ Old Game stuff did. It really didn't take a whole lot of work to do that. And bam, I've got a bunch of, shortcuts and everything set up, and I'm good to go. This is especially helpful because if you know of a lot of different DOS games that you'd like to play again, but you're like, well, but I mean, they won't run on my Windows system. This is a Windows 8.1 system. It's pretty obvious from all this stupid shit. But yeah, it's capable of running that. DOSBox is relatively versatile. Now, I'm also going to be working with some VMware stuff to try to get older Windows stuff to work too, because sometimes the Windows compatibility doesn't work that well. It's pretty annoying. Oh, this is also a handy little tool here too, the WinX YouTube downloader. That's how I can get some of the movies and stuff away from YouTube. Sometimes it's slightly lesser quality, but most of the time the reason I use it is so that I can just get music for like intros and different stuff like that. And I'm always real careful to credit the music, and if somebody gets pissy and doesn't want me to go ahead and monetize the video, then I'll say, okay, fine, whatever, and then I'll go ahead and use something else. But yeah, I mean, it's really not that hard to put it together. And like I said, if you follow the steps that I used, you should have relatively decent success. But let's say you aren't having a whole hell of a lot of success with it. Let's say that you're trying and it's just not really panning out. Or, the game doesn't work correctly or something. Well, that's why they've got a DOSBox Wiki. This is really handy. It's dosbox.com/wiki/main page, or well, main underscore page. Yes. There's a lot of stuff here, a lot of information here, a lot of resources, but most importantly, let's say you've got a particular game that you're having a hard time trying to figure out how to emulate. So let's just say 11th hour. Games, 11th hour. Okay, so right here, this is the recommended settings. They're talking about the cycles, how to set up the different stuff. In fact, they even have the image mount. They have it where you do an image mount for all 4 images at the same time. And then you can just, Control F4 to swap CD images. They even have notes regarding different stuff. So yeah, I mean, if you've got a specific game you're trying to run and you're having difficulty, you can just search in here. There's also a way to get a canonical list of all DOS games that they've tinkered with and gotten working successfully. So there's that too. I didn't really have any games that wouldn't work properly. I think maybe 1 or 2 had a couple of small issues here and there. But it usually wasn't that hard to figure it out. So pretty cool. So yeah, basically this is a real good resource. Just in case you're still having difficulty with all of it, because it goes more in depth than I will as far as how to set up DOSBox and how to get it, correct and everything. But yeah, I mean, that's definitely worth checking out. So I hope you found this informational, and I hope it wasn't too terribly long-winded with it. As always, this is Gun Sage, and happy gaming!